Chairman, I'd like to yield 2 minutes to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Paul, a member of our Foreign Affairs Committee.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 2 minutes.
I ask unanimous consent to revising.
Without objection.
I thank the gentlelady for yielding me these 2 minutes. I rise in opposition to this bill. Some are hopeful that this will be a less militaristic approach to our foreign policy, but quite frankly, I don't see any changes. I wished it were something that would represent a humble foreign policy, but when you put an extra $100 million into the military operations of the United Nations, I hardly think this is a change in direction. It's $18 billion, actually, that is going into more meddling, and we don't have $18 billion. The President now has asked us here in the Congress to follow the pay-go rules. Now, that might be a good idea if we'd set aside the idea that we raise taxes, but we're not going to cut any domestic spending for this foreign spending, so the odds of this following the pay-go rule are essentially nil. But I want to call attention to one provision in this that is rather disturbing to me, and that's the Civilian Stabilization Initiative. This is new. It's not invented by this administration. It was invented by the last administration. And this is to set up a permanent standing nation-building office with an employment or use of nearly 5,000 individuals. So what is the goal of this new initiative going to be? It's to facilitate democratic and political transitions. Now, if you want to talk about interfering in the internal affairs of other nations, that is exactly what this is all about. Facilitating democratic and political transitions. Well, of course, we've been doing that for a long time, and we've gotten ourselves into a lot of trouble doing it. We did it in 1953, and we're still suffering the consequences, but this is a little more honest. It's up front. We're actually supporting and funding a facility that would be involved in these transitions. The mandate in this is to reconstruct societies. That sounds wonderful. There's a lot of societies that need reconstruction. But so many of the societies that we have to reconstruct, we help to destroy or disrupt. Think of what our troops and our money has done in Afghanistan as well as Iraq. I think this provision itself is enough reason to vote against this authorization.